Friday morning, Beth was staring at me in bed and just said, "I've been waiting all night for you to wake up." She got woke.
She wanted to watch Gary?
Well, no, the dog woke her up or something, or the cat, one of the cats, and she got up and she leaves the TV on in the room for the cat because the cat likes it. Don't ask. So she walks by, and I guess the TiVo was taping Gary on Kimmel, so she ended up watching it live.
Oh,
and she was just beside herself. She said, "You're not going to believe what happened on Jimmy. Did you see it?"
Yes, yeah. I did.
She goes, "You're just not going to believe what happened. You have to watch it. You have to watch it." I said, "What happened?" She goes, "Oh, my God. It's the greatest thing ever." I said, "What could it be? What
did Gary do?"
Well, for those of you who didn't see it, Gary went out on Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy did an interview with him. And then he said to Gary, he played the tape of Gary throwing this pitch at Citi Field when Gary threw the ball at the Mets game, at the opening of the Mets game. And, that's like Gary's nightmare because he threw a horrible pitch. The most,
it was awful.
The most feminine pitch ever.
Yeah, it was awful.
And so Jimmy throws him a baseball glove and goes, "We measured and taped it out, and you, come on, I believe in redemption. Redeem yourself." So Gary goes, "Oh, I don't want to throw that, Jimmy." And it
didn't look set up at all, because Gary stayed in the chair a long time. He really didn't want to do it.
Gary thought about it, and I guess, he had to think about it like for a few seconds. He looked dumbfounded, and then he went over, and he pitched so bad.
It was the same pitch.
I mean,
it's how Gary throws.
On the third pitch, he tried, he threw horribly. Jimmy said, "Try again." It was like toward the end of the show. "Try again." Gary throws again. A little less worse than the first time, but pretty bad. He says, "Try again." The third time, he hits a woman square in the head with the ball.
Yeah, but the ball always has that it like goes off. And it's just the way he throws.
Now, I got to tell you, like a million thoughts went through my head. I mean, Beth and I have been discussing it all weekend. First of all, if Jimmy had asked Gary to hit an audience member in the head,
he couldn't do it.
It was so unbelievably perfect.
And did you think, Jimmy's standing out there in the audience, so he certainly doesn't think Gary's going to hit the audience.
I don't know what he was thinking, but I got to tell you something. First of all, why they're throwing a ball into the audience when Gary can't pitch? I think
Gary is a wild thrower.
The funny thing is, Jimmy can throw. In fact,
he hit him every time.
My brother-in-law sent an email saying maybe Gary throws like a girl, but he goes, Gary doesn't know how to throw. He said, but Jimmy's got an awfully good throw.
Jimmy looked like a guy who had thrown a ball.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, of course, is an athlete and, was a football player at Penn State and all this other stuff. So,
but you wouldn't even have to be that. Just the ease and the naturalness. There was nothing. Jimmy just threw the ball.
Yeah.
And it went right to Gary.
Anyway, so I'm sitting there watching it, and I said, why? Gary knows, he can't throw. First of all, it's a lose-lose situation. You're sitting there on national television. You're talking about your horrible pitch. And then Jimmy throws you a glove and says, let's pitch. Now, Gary could have done 20 different things. He could have gotten up and said, Jimmy, I'm not humiliating myself again, and thrown the mitt, or said, thanks for the mitt, and left. I've retired.
Whatever.
Could have said, Jimmy, I am not doing this at all. Jimmy,
I'm not prepared.
If I throw this ball badly, I'll be the brunt of a joke the rest of my life. What?
And Jimmy throwing the ball back so perfectly shows there's nothing on the ball. They weren't goofing on Gary in any way.
I would have taken a lighter and lit the ball on fire.
I would have lit myself on fire before throwing.
Or even throw it underhand if you're so inclined, and just say, bowl it and say, Jimmy, I'm not going there. What was going through your mind, brother? I mean, what the hell? I mean...
I didn't... Okay.
You hit a woman in the head.
All right. We've now established that I can't pitch in front of people, and that I might not even be able to...
I don't think you can throw a ball.
I can throw a ball. And
I'm pretty sure I'm better than you. I got to try it.
I readily accept that.
Okay.
I felt that I had no choice. I felt that if I would have gotten up and said, I'm not doing this, that it would have been just as bad, that everybody would have goofed on me.
Well, you do it in a funny way.
And then I also felt like the audience was like, they're screaming and yelling, and Jimmy's like, come on. You could see me going, no.
You say, Jimmy, I'd rather... But Gary, you're like the woman who,
I felt put in a bad position.
You're like
I didn't know what to do.
You're like a woman who was raped, but spread her legs and said, "I'll do it."
Right.
Howard, I had 5 seconds to react. You're right. I
But Gary, why would you throw a ball and humiliate yourself? So why did you do it if you don't want to?
Because I felt put in a weird position. I felt like if I didn't do it, it was going to be just as bad.
If he told you to whip your cock out and piss,
it's not
on
the
the
same
stage,
thing. It's not the same thing.
That's a no, right? I mean, whip your cock out and piss. So what? Say no. You
know what it is, though? Gary persists
and Gary
in thinking he can
That's not the case. I got to tell you, that wasn't the case at all. I didn't get up there and think that I was. I
made
got
a
up there.
fool out of you.
I know, and I'm really upset about it.
Why?
I felt like.
But you could say no.
But I couldn't. You couldn't say no. I can't explain it. But he put me on the spot. The audience is yelling. I felt like if I said no,
you know what?
I was going to come. Hold on, let me finish. I felt like if I said no, I was going to come across like an asshole.
No, you wouldn't. How would you come across it? You say, Jimmy, I can't pitch. I crack under pressure. I'll have nightmares the rest of my life. I'd rather put a dress on. You say something funny.
It's funny that you said that because I sent the note to Jason and I said I felt like it was reliving a rape.
Yeah.
And I almost felt horrible I almost felt horrible using that example because you can't compare throwing a ball to a rape.
Well, when the first ball went off like that, what did you think?
I thought, oh, my God. I don't know, man.
The first ball was awful. The second one was a little bit better, but
Almost.
awful.
And I should have stopped there.
When you beam the woman in the head, by the way, is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
How do you know?
Because they told me.
Oh.
They asked me to sign a book for her.
Was it a hard ball?
Yeah, it's a hard ball. It's a regular hard ball. I have it with me if you want to see it.
Wow, she got beamed right in the head. Doesn't that hurt?
I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about that. I'm sorry to whoever the woman is.
Well, hopefully he, as bad as he is, he's not a hard pitcher.
No, he's not Nolan Ryan.
Jimmy told me he was laughing about it all fucking week.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
for Jimmy.
he loves that.
He loved it.
I thought it was, I got to tell you, for me, I thought it was sort of a dick move to put me in that spot.
No,
it's
it
just me
isn't.
it is.
Gary, we ask people, you're in this business.
It's different. There's not
we do that all the time.
I know, but there's not an audience in here.
So what? We say to people all the time, we have TV cameras on. We go to people, take your shirt off. It's like my sister. I said to my sister, why don't you come on the air? This was 100 years ago. She goes, I'm not taking my top off. I go, wait a second. This is like Gary. Somebody tells you to do something, you just don't
mean you have
do
to
it.
do it.
That's like,
But I felt for Gary because Jimmy took out the gloves and walked around the desk and walked to that position almost.
Right, I didn't even...
It's going to happen.
Right.
And here's the thing. I know Gary gets really upset by this because he's a baseball coach for the kids. And he's a fan, and he's always talking about he was even on his interview talking about he's an athlete and he came from football practice. And, he's always telling Jason he throws like a girl and this one. Dude, you cannot throw a fucking ball to save your life.
We've established that.
What happened?
I don't know what happened.
Were you ever able to throw a ball?
Yes, I was. There was a time when I could.
Following through, right? Like,
yeah,
I'm not an athlete, but I know that when I throw, because like my brother-in-laws come over and I got to throw a football, I got to this. I just follow through. Your hand guides the ball.
Howard, I got it. And if you look in the book, it says like I can't even wrap my head around it anymore.
What made you think you could throw the ball that you would do? Like, let me ask you.
This was not my idea.
Jimmy Kimmel said to me, Howard, I want you to do a jackass type stunt. I want you to, right now, light yourself on fire and flip over. I would say, Jimmy, you do it. I can't do it.
It's not the same. I can't explain it.
If Jimmy said to me, Howard, I want you to do 5 minutes of stand-up comedy, I'd say, Jimmy, I can't do it. I don't do that thing. I don't do stand-up. I admire anyone who does it. It's not my thing.
But Gary sits there and establishes that he does throw with his boys and he can do this. And so Jimmy says, I believe in redemption. Let's go out here and show people that you can do it.
I think that what happened. No. Oh, hold on. I think that what happened was Jimmy's greatest hope. I don't think Jimmy
came through for Jimmy.
I don't think Jimmy said, let's do this and Gary will redeem himself. I think he said, I hope that exactly what happened.
It was unbelievable.
I couldn't believe it. I thought, this isn't possible.
Didn't sleep the whole night.
Oh. Wow, were you pissed?
I was too humiliated to be pissed. I got more pissed the next day.
Did you say something to Jimmy?
Well,
what happens after the appearance?
Well, here's what happens. We're standing on stage. Everybody's clapping. He's got his arm around me. And I said, Jimmy.
Did he say anything?
I said to Jimmy, I go, that's exactly what I didn't want to do. I probably said that on the wrap-up show.
So don't do it.
And so, but I didn't want to be put in that position. I didn't even want to be put in that. Hold on.
You're a witty guy. You're a bright guy. You got an IQ of 121. You turn to a guy, a million what? You take the ball in the glove and you run out off the stage and say, no way, goodbye.
So,
I mean, it's funny.
So he said to me, what are you doing there? He said something. He goes, I just sold 1 million books for you. And I'm like, which I'm not even sure if Jimmy's got 1 million viewers. But, and then he said, hey, what are you doing after this? And I said, well, I'm with my news guy and one of my producers. We already planned to have dinner. He's like, and I said, what are you doing tomorrow night? And he said, I'm going to St. Louis. And then that was that.
Right.
Then afterwards, we go back and the segment producer walks in and immediately starts apologizing, shuts the door. It's me and my agent. He's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I knew we were doing this, but I couldn't tell you, and I could see how upset you are. I mean, I wasn't like throwing things. You could just see that I was defeated. Then the co-executive producer comes in, and they're like, listen,
you always get yourself into trouble.
I'm sitting there in this surreal situation, being told by an executive producer the bullshit that I told people to make them feel better. Right. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, bullshit, 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 more bullshit, bullshit, because I've been there. And I know the lies you have to tell to make somebody feel better.
Boy, I sat there all weekend dumbfounded that you took part in that. Like, I said, boy, Gary got just bamboozled and just, dude, don't do anything you don't want to do. It's the same thing as like a girl taking her top off and then says, I don't want to do it.
But, here's a difference, too. It was like, I bet you if it were anyone else but Jimmy, I wouldn't have done it. But it was like Jimmy. It was like our friend. It's like our guy.
Our friend?
He's our friend.
Okay, well, so if a friend asks you to do something you don't want to do, I think on some level, Robin's right. You wanted to do it. You wanted to prove you think you can throw it.
I didn't, and I walked out there thinking, I can say no to this right now. But it just, he's sitting down, and the audience is cheering, and I felt like...
And you made a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
It was a lose-lose situation, first of all.
Well, it could have been a win situation.
No, it couldn't. Let's say you threw the ball. Then everyone would have said... Oh, come on. It was much easier. You weren't at City Field. It probably didn't measure.
You're not on the same under the same kind of pressure.
Right.
Yeah, listen.
It's a lose situation. If you fuck it up, you look like a fucking bullshit artist. You're a coach. You coach the baseball.
So here I am now, Monday morning.
Now, what about your boys?
Pitching?
Did your boys see it?
Lucas saw it, and he said he thought that he would, without prompting or anything, he said, I think that was mean of Jimmy to do to you.
Oh, you're
no, but that's how he feels. And Jackson,
Beth, by the end of the weekend, started to feel bad for you. But, I mean, I'm telling you.
I do feel bad for him.
Why did he do it?
Here's how I feel, Howard.
Why?
Hold on. Here's how I feel.
I can't believe why he did it. I looked at it and I went, Mary must be filing papers right now. I'm sitting and going, why would he partake in that? If I'm on Letterman, if I'm on Leno, if I'm this, and they tell me to do something, fuck you.
Well, you're stronger than me.
You're very strong. You've got a great job. You're in the industry. You got your own book out.
It ruined, for me, it just ruined the whole weekend.
Cue up those pictures I got. Do you have it on Howard TV? Oh, here we go. Here's Gary.
Of course they do.
Oh, yeah, I got it. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
One more time. Gary, one more time.
Oh.
Did you notice how natural Jimmy is?
Yeah.
And then how awkward Gary
should have stopped there.
One more. Come on, Gary.
Should have stopped already. And say, give up.
Oh!
See?
The third one's the best. He wiped out
the glove at Jimmy.
He wiped out the whole audience.
Then he's able to hit Jimmy.
Yeah, that you were able to do. You asked to pitch the third one.
I didn't. He did. He threw it back.
No,
I didn't.
You go. Let me do it one more time.
I did not. I did. You're hearing things.
I don't know.
Trust me when I tell you I didn't say that.
Out of you.
And I'll tell you something. Here's what I kept thinking about all weekend.
They call you Baba Booey. Holy smokies.
Oh, this is so sad.
Whatever. Listen, it's like I've already been raped. I know what it feels like. You know what I mean?
Jimmy took away your whole. He came out there so cocky. He was a New York Times bestselling author. He was feeling so good about himself.
Was that cocky? Let me ask you a question. What's wrong?
You were confident. You were feeling good.
I thought I was great on the couch. I thought I was doing really well.
You did a great job.
And I'll tell you something else too. Like I was. Can I just get one thought out, please?
Yes.
So I was thinking about okay, after I did Letterman, right? I come in the next morning. Can I just get a fucking thought out?
I'm
Give me
sorry.
my fucking 30 seconds.
You're the best. You're the best.
Oh, my God.
Love you. You're the best. I don't know what the fuck. And he flew all the way to Los Angeles for that drubbing. Ay.
This pitch.
With this pitching, it's becoming your whole thing.
I don't want it to be.
Where are you going to go next and pitch?
Nowhere. Yeah, I told you. It's over. I'm not pitching for you. I'm not pitching for Sal.
I never asked you to pitch.
I'm not pitching for Jason. You can all go fuck yourselves. All of you. Not you. Well, yeah, you. Anybody who asked me, go fuck themselves.
What did I do? What did I do?
Nothing.
What did I tell you when you went to Citi Field to pitch? I go, Gary, why would you do it?
I got it.
Let your son go do it.
You can all go fuck yourselves. All of you. Not you. Well, yeah, you. Anybody who asked me, go fuck themselves.
What did I do? What did I do?
Nothing.
What did I tell you when you went to Citi Field to pitch? I go, Gary, why would you do it?
I got it.
Let your son go do it. It's a lose-lose. And just because Jimmy, it was like a Klan rally, and you didn't want to lynch a black man, but you were like, well, everyone's lynching the black guy, I'll go for it. I mean, don't go along with everything everyone tells you to do. You gotta stick up for yourself.
I didn't. I didn't stick up for myself. I just didn't.
You lost your mind. On some level,
dignity.
You thought you could do it.
I didn't.
No, you did.
I did.
You wouldn't have done it otherwise. Look, I got a small dick. If Letterman tells me to whip my dick out, I don't do it. I don't want anyone to see it.
But that could be a fact.
If you know you can't do that pitch, you don't do it to humiliate yourself. You thought you could do it, and you can't. You took another shot at it.
I didn't, and I didn't want to.
You know, you're like the guy at the carnival.
I didn't want to.
You're like the guy at the carnival. He goes, sir, buy for another $1, 3 more. You knock down the milk bottles, you get a stuffed animal. The guy's $5,000 in. He's still trying to get that stuffed animal. Give up on it. You can't throw.
Right. Can I just say something?
There is no way to redeem that pitch.
Right. Can I just say something and then just leave?
Okay.
May
if
I?
You're right. I hear.
I guess
wait,
I can.
No, you can. You'll get to it.
You know what? I'm just leaving.
No. Tell me.
I don't want to stay.
Look, you
What?
stay for Jimmy. You pitch for Jimmy.
Yeah, for Jimmy, you'll do anything. For me, you won't even talk. You're gonna go. You're on Jimmy Fallon. Let's say you're going on there.
Yeah.
What if Jimmy wants you to eat your own feces?
I'll do it.
You will.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
Of course, I won't do that.
All right.
That's
good.
funny, though.
All right. Now tell me what you were going to say.
You know, the thing that's so humiliating about all of this is that, like, I did the Letterman show. When I came in the next morning, Robin said something that made me feel so good. She said, she goes, I really looked at Gary a different way. I looked at him a different way. And then, so I did the Today Show, and all these things I felt like I was sort of elevating myself, and it just all's erased.
All erased.
Just all erased.
Absolutely.
Can I tell you something? I did 2 book signings this week. I signed 900 books, 500 books at Book Soup, 400 books in Torrance, and it's a non-factor. It's like it didn't happen.
And you were doing really well on the couch.
I know.
Yeah, you did
looked
great.
Comfortable. You were
great.
Personable and funny.
That's what made it so good.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh man, Gary, and I'm watching this thing. Go, Gary, don't get up. Don't get up. Don't get up.
Really? I was like, no.
All right, now
The only thing everyone's going to remember from this book tour is the pitch.
Yeah, I'm aware of that now.
3 pitches. 3!
3 bad ones.
When you hit the woman, I think you wiped out 2 women in the audience, and then you took out a chair.
All right, I'm going to my office. Because I got it.
Listen.
I got it.
No, you don't.
No, I'm not.
I'm afraid that you
do what you need to do. I'll be
Why
listening.
are you going?
No, I'll be listening.
I don't understand why you can't get him to do anything.
Yeah, but you notice in here he knows how to protect himself.
He can get out of this.
But for Jimmy, he's a bitch. Where's Jimmy? He's got to call in. Where is he? Gary.
He's still laughing.
Go get me Jimmy Kimmel on the phone.
And Jimmy he's cruel. He will laugh at your misery.
It was crazy. I'm watching this
I
fucking
bet
thing.
you he couldn't get through dinner. He was laughing so hard.
I'm going, why did this guy? I mean, I will forever ask myself why he did this. I mean.
But to have the exact same thing happen, I didn't think he could do it 3 times.
Ryan, you're on the air in Baltimore.
Hey now, guys. Dude, I've been waiting since Thursday night to fucking call in and laugh about my buoy. So can you make sure he's listening right now so I can laugh at him right to his face?
I already did.
Okay. So I'm going to laugh really, really hard right now. You ready, Bob?
Go ahead.
Buoy?
Yes, Bobo.
Hey, how you doing there, Howard? Hey, did they take that woman out on the stretcher or what?
Boy,
Oh, my God.
As a boy, I never got to play hardball. I never played once.
Right.
And I know I don't even know if I can throw a ball from the pitcher's mound. I don't know. I've never done it. I've never participated in a sport like that. But when I saw the woman I think 2 women got wiped out if you look at the third pitch.
Yeah.
But Howard, I just want to say how
I said that's a hard ball. I would be very scared to get hit in the head by a hard ball.
And I don't know, after seeing Gary's pitch, isn't it kind of reckless to stand in the audience?
Robin, you'd probably know more about pitching than I do. Where does he go wrong? In other words, he winds up, but
Well, it's exactly what you say. He stops the throw right at the top.
Let me see
he
that.
missed the target 3 times.
Let me watch his wind up.
See, at the top, he lets the ball go.
Oh, 2 women. See, you know what saved that woman? She had her hands over her. Oh, he got her on the back of the head.
Ugh.
The hands didn't save her. Look, perfect.
And it comes right out of the top of his hand, off the fingertips.
Actually, it comes out of the side of his hand.
You think it's rolling off the side?
It was the same ball action that it was at Chase Stadium or Citi Field.
Robin, would you be willing to teach Gary to throw? I mean, seriously.
You're right, Fred. It's coming off the side.
For some reason, I remember that.
Why don't you, if you're a nice person,
I can't
take him?
throw. He throws the way I do. I know I can't throw. Why doesn't he know he can't throw?
But you know how to throw.
But why doesn't he know he can't do it? I know I can't do it.
No mechanics. I love Gary. He's got no mechanics.
He's no mechanic.
I'm no mechanic, Bull. I know he's upset with me for laughing. I saw he got upset. But
I feel bad for him, man.
it was a funny bit.
Under the bus.
Well,
What do you think?
I
Come
think
on.
Gary threw himself under the bus. You can't be a part of anything unless you are a participant. In other words, all he had to do, I would have run out of there. I would have said, no way, and run off.
I can't do this
I think
again.
Gary thought he was going to hand him the glove. Like, oh, here's a glove, here's a token. You know.
He could have walked over, give Jimmy a kiss, and left.
Bobo was right. I thought he was handing me a glove like it's some sort of. I thought it was some sort of weird token.
By the way, you could have even said, hey, thanks for the glove, and then left. I never got a gift before on a talk show. We should start giving away baseball gloves.
Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. He could have taken the glove and put it right down on the floor immediately. I don't handle those things anymore.
But you can't be, Gary, you can't be mad at Jimmy. Jimmy didn't throw you under the bus. Jimmy gave you a bus, and you threw yourself under it.
Let's say it's a little bit of both. I mean, I could have said no, but I really, again, I had seconds to react, and I realized it's the wrong reaction, and you've done this a lot more than I have, and you're more skilled at it than I am.
No.
And I just
know when I can't do something.
It was a split-second decision, and I made the wrong decision. But I don't know why I had to be put in that position in the first place.
Because he knew it would be gold.
I'm actually surprised that Letterman didn't do that.
Yeah, he's kicking.
Letterman don't like getting out of that chair. Jimmy's a little younger. Hey, Gary, can you put a dildo in your ass on the show today?
Sure, get me 5.
Get him 5 before he has time to think about it. I realize the trick with Gary
He
is
only
that
has 5 seconds. He can't make the right decision.
I think you have to have a live audience to get Gary to do stuff.
All right, let's bring in a bunch of people and see what we can make him do.
So after the appearance, you didn't see Jimmy at all?
No, just the producers.
And then, how long did you stand around there all bummed out?
We left pretty quickly.
And Jimmy didn't call you over the weekend?
No, not a word.
Wow.
His other co-executive producer sent me a note Saturday night. I responded to it last night. She just sent me back a note today, which is more...
What was the note?
That she sent me or that I sent her?
That she sent you.
Yeah, what were the notes back and forth?
It was something to the effect of, I understand you're upset, that you left upset. You know, we love you, and we really want the book to do well. We never meant you any harm. And you know, the co-executive producer, by the way, Howard, is somebody that I really like. She was at your wedding.
Right, I know what you mean.
And so I sent the note back last night. I was like, listen, pretty much saying the things that you said. Like, I felt painted into a corner. I know I shouldn't have done it. You know, I did all these other shows. You know, nobody sort of sprung that on me. That the only thing that will be remembered from this whole week and this whole book tour is this pitch, when I should be celebrating the fact that, you know, I'm number 6 on the list and all that stuff. And I said, you know, I just feel sort of blindsided. And she sent me back a note today saying, well, you know, the pitch is on the back cover of your book, and we were never told not to discuss it. And my point is, I didn't say we couldn't discuss it. I just didn't think I was going to be asked to do it again. If anybody read the chapter, even you probably haven't read it. If anybody read the chapter, they would know that's the last thing I want to do.
Then don't do it.
But if you ask him, he'll do it.
No, if we ask him, he won't do it. Anyone else will do it for.
Hey, Howard, you can see how upset Gary was because he threw the glove at Jimmy. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, that.
Hey, Scott DePace, you have a little bit higher IQ than Gary. Would you? I mean, how do you explain
How would
this?
you handle it?
Howard, I'm staying out of this one.
Why?
But you have a similar IQ. I mean, you beat Gary by 1 point, and you have a high intelligence.
Why do you have to stay out of this?
Yeah, why do you have to stay out?
I've done enough to piss Gary off.
Well, did you see it live, or did you hear it?
I did. I was kind of drunk as well, so...
He must have had fun.
I laughed pretty hard.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Did you stay up to watch it?
You know, I was playing a video game, and then I turned the video game off, and suddenly it was on. It was like it happened by chance.
Right. It was on ABC.
Yeah. And then when he hit that woman in the head, oh, my
Yeah, you think? Hey, Howard, you think Jimmy would have used like a sponge ball, knowing Gary can't throw that good?
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of reckless seeing Gary pitch.
Use a hard ball. Come on, Jimmy.
I think Jimmy thought he could do it. Why do you, Scott DePace? Why do you think Gary would do that though? Like, in other words,
why he would pitch that bad, or why he?
No, why would he partake in it? Why would he participate?
I think he just thought that he would be able to do it well. So
that's what I think.
I'll prove him right and do it. But you know, it's got to be hard to throw in a sport coat.
That's the problem.
Well, he could have taken on. I mean, he could have given it a real try. I don't know what happened there.
You're a pretty good athlete. You can throw a ball, right?
Oh, my God. I could do that blindfolded.
Would you help Gary learn how to throw?
I would love to, yeah.
Would you? Maybe that'd be a way you guys mend your relationship, where you take Gary out to a field like he's your son and teach him how to throw a ball.
I'm teaching my kids right now, so
Gary,
I can teach him.
Would you like to go with Scott and the boys?
Kids.
I don't want to go out having nothing to do with Scott. I just don't want to be involved anymore.
But if he could teach you how to pitch, do you think it would be something worthwhile?
I don't even think I want to learn anymore. I just don't want to do it. I don't want any part of it.
It's simply his release point. He's releasing from the side instead of over the top.
Exactly.
Right, the follow through. He has to. You have to. I think.
Well, he's releasing, as he said.
Yeah,
it's rolling
it's not even the
over
follow
to
through.
the side.
It's coming. It's spitting out of his hand on a right hand axis or something. It's like a world out of control.
How can you correct that, Scott?
It's just a little practice. I would change his arm slot to be over the top instead of 3/4, which that probably would affect his release.
How about his grip?
I don't know. I'd have to look at the grip, too.
I'm just thinking if you could teach him, we could, it would be beautiful. You guys would come together over that.
Gary, can you bring a ball in and show us your grip?
Can't I just use your neck?
Gary, that team that you coach, do they all throw like you? Have they all learned to throw from you?
Yeah.
Are there any balls in the park?
There must be a lot of walks.
He takes it so seriously, that throwing of the ball.
This is his bailiwick. This is crazy.
That's why it's so great. I mean, he so wants to be a great athlete.
Yeah.
And he kind of fancies himself one.
Oh, he's always told us he's an athlete.
Yeah. Jesus. Like, I guess I wouldn't even care because I know I can't fucking throw a ball.
But you'd never do it again after doing it so badly.
You think Jimmy would stop that after the first pitch, but he enjoyed it, I guess.
I really do think Jimmy was pulling for him, but after that first ball, he should have just bailed.
I think Jimmy thought he could do it. I think Jimmy said, "Oh, Gary knows what he's doing."
Yeah, but I think that Jimmy thought that if I couldn't, it'd be awesome too, and it was for him.
I wonder how when I like to interview Jimmy. Like, when did they come up with that idea?
And by the way,
like, did they almost not do it?
Where is he?
He's such a good friend that immediately posted on YouTube, given to TMZ.
Oh, he was very upset for you.
Well, does he post that on YouTube? I think people do.
Oh, no, he does. They do every night.
Well, it was also on the ABC website.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's probably going to be in cabs. They have those little screens in cabs and
Hi,
Jimmy
this is Jimmy Kimmel.
So did that ruin your whole weekend in L.A.? Like, were you...
Oh, my God, Howard. Yes. I mean, like I said, I barely slept that night. And then I got up the next day and I had a full day of interviews. I started interviews at 8 o'clock.
I liked the interview on Jillian Barbery's show. I thought that was good. I thought all three of them were good with you.
Yeah, they were really big fans and stuff. And then
they didn't talk over each other. It was really good.
And then I just went from to Jillian Barbery. I did one at Fox Sports. I did an hour with Adam Carolla, his podcast, which is great. He's got a great setup.
Did Carolla ask you about that?
Didn't even bring it up.
Wow.
I mean, we spoke for an hour, and I was waiting for it to come up. I was fully expected it to come up. We just went off into different areas. But Adam's got a great setup. He's got a garage with a studio in it. That was great. I went to the.
It's at his house?
No. It's just it's like a warehouse. It's there's a studio in there, but then it's also like a garage, where they fix up sports cars and stuff. Huh. It's like a man's playhouse.
Right.
And then I did more interviews. Then I went to Book Soup. There were like 500 people. The line was around the block. It was incredible.
Does everyone kind of?
You bring that up again?
Yeah, like at the book signing?
Yeah, well, it's just like, probably, well, I'm not even going to say, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't...
What aren't you going to say?
It wasn't the focal point of everything, but yeah, it came up, and then a lot of people wanted me to sign baseballs. Which I'm actually not doing. Less about, I don't care about signing a baseball, but the lines are so long, and signing a baseball takes so long that they're just like, we're just signing books, because it was just too many people. But yeah, there were probably about a dozen people who had baseballs.
And Jillian was there hosting the event for you, right?
She did a great job, and Jeff Probst came out, Mark McGrath, Nancy Sinatra. It was like it was a lot of fun. It was
wow.
It was like, had that not happened, I should be coming back and talking about everything but this.